evening, welcome Goals of the Day, a regular Saturday night review of all the day's First Division action. And really, we start with a day of quality rather than quantity, supplemented by, well, one or two that got away. It's been a very bright start to the new season. The only real cause for concern came at Derby County this afternoon. For what should have probably been an all-ticket match, an overflow of Manchester United fans caused a kick-off delay of around 25 minutes. Michael Knighton, United's new owner, appealed for calm. Ironically, it occurred on a day the Football League voiced its concern about the increasing trend of delayed kick-offs. The police had no alternative here, and the game eventually got underway just before 3:30. Now, United's big following and big money signing suffered an early setback. Only 12 minutes gone, but approaching half-time everywhere else in the country. Gary Micklewhite, cause of my ball, your ball, or no calls at all, created mayhem. Paul Goddard following up after Dean Saunders had hit the bar. United had their moments, but defensively found Goddard much too hot to handle. The crunch came when Bruce and Phelan both lunged at the same time. Penalty kick, 11 minutes left. Now, Dean Saunders' style is reminiscent of Fanny Lee's. Whack it hard and straight. Works too. Well, I suppose if anything's going to accelerate Manchester United's latest exploits into the transfer market, it's results like that. Now, the latest we have, Paul Ince is expected to sign on Monday, but personal terms haven't been fully agreed. A glimmer of hope for one or two other clubs, perhaps. No names, but that's the way we understand it. And as far as the Gary Pallister bid's concerned, the £1.9 million bid is still on the table. Well, let's move on now. The two clubs who fought it out at the death for the Championship last season. Arsenal at home to Wimbledon. Liverpool away to Luton. Here's Jim Rosenthal.
First, it's Liverpool on the new artificial pitch at Kenilworth Road. Liverpool hate it. John Barnes, though, he doesn't mind it at all. A great chip from Barnes and a good save from Alec Chamberlain, who kept goals splendidly for Luton all afternoon. Liverpool bringing on the substitute John Aldridge, and they very nearly got the points in the very last minute. John Barnes, brilliant trickery, reminiscent of his skills at Villa Park in the week. It'll fall for John Aldridge, and it comes away off the post. Luton 0, Liverpool 0. Well, Arsenal have started slowly. Very few chances and very few instances to show you in the match against Wimbledon at Highbury. Brian Marwood at the centre of most good things for the Gunners. Good keeping from Seggers. And Arsenal's best chance, well, supplied by a Wimbledon player. Marwood's cross coming in, and it's Phelan's header that goes close to his own goal. Arsenal 0, Wimbledon 0.
Well, there was no place for Tony Cottee in Everton's 13 at home to Southampton. The corresponding fixture last season was highlighted by two splendid Cottee goals. It was a new-look Everton then, and it's a new-look Everton now. The fluency Colin Harvey's been striving to achieve showed up in patches against Spurs on Tuesday night. Everton looked even better this afternoon. Norman Whiteside's looking to be an integral part of Harvey's strategy. And a real snip at £650,000, Norman's first league goal for the club. Now, the man bought to pressurise or replace Tony Cottee is the ex-Wigan, Luton and Leicester man, Mike Newell. He scored in his home debut on Tuesday and added number 2 today. The style was in the taking rather than the making. Into the second half, and by this time Graham Sharp was off the field injured. The man responsible, Jimmy Case, was booked for the tackle. But Everton were cruising by now. First goal of the season coming up for Stuart McCall, whose finishing was the only consolation in that FA Cup final defeat by Liverpool. Good goal that. Everton 3-0 winners.
Millwall against Forest at the Den. The only goal in the last 10 minutes. A lot of men forward for Millwall. Hurlock has one go at it. It's Jimmy Carter who finishes well. It's a good start for Millwall, but 2 draws and a defeat for Forest.
Crystal Palace against Coventry. Steve Coppell said it all on day one. Palace will need time to adjust to the First Division, and they'll start off as one of the favourites for relegation. Some would say realistic words, others pessimistic. Well, Wright and Bright haven't really got going yet, and until they do, Palace will always be susceptible to this sort of thing, especially against solid, underrated opponents such as Coventry. Suckling might have got it. It was Brian Kilcline's strike. 1-0 Coventry.
Norwich against Queen's Park Rangers at Carrow Road. Defence is on top, and defenders stealing forward pretty well. Andy Linnigan with that good header. Queen's Park Rangers, though, reshaped by Trevor Francis. They had their moments too. Good effort from Sinton, a big fumble from Brian Gunn. Bowen gets him out of trouble. Even when Robert Fleck got the ball past David Seaman, one of those days, it just would not go in. Another close thing in front of the Rangers goal. No goals then for Norwich or Rangers, but they're both still unbeaten.
Aston Villa, Charlton, both these two had drawn their opening 2 games. Charlton have already shown enough to suggest they might not have to rely on their perennial escapology routine at the end of the season. Andy Jones, number 9, who was loaned out of Port Vale for a spell last season, putting them in front. Well, Villa went behind against Liverpool on Wednesday. They showed spirit then, and it surfaced again this afternoon. Derek Mountfield to Adrian Heath, an ex-Everton combination. Saved by the goalkeeper, but Ian Olney got the equaliser. Once again, both teams having to settle for a point. So 4 draws so far, 3 of them goalless. Now, at Main Road this afternoon, it was Manchester City against Spurs, City having lost their previous 2. Commentator, Martin Tyler.
A Manchester City corner. Brian Gale, very useful in the air at set plays. It's a very deep one, and has it gone across the line from David White? It has. Bishop! Oh, how unlucky, this is Lake. Ian Bishop, the 5 from Bournemouth. Lineker pulling left. Howells is behind him. And well, perhaps not confident enough of taking over, but Fenwick got it to Gascoigne, and Tottenham are level.
First of the season for Gaza, makes a change from the 2 bookings he's received in the previous 2 matches. Now, the day's top scorers were Chelsea, and I would like to say that we've saved the best till last, but sadly that isn't the case. The Chelsea chairman, Ken Bates, refuses to admit the league's cameras to Stamford Bridge. But if you are a Chelsea fan, here's something to make you smile. Top dogs in Division 1 tonight. Sorry we can't show you the 4 goals that beat Sheffield Wednesday this afternoon and that puts them ahead of Millwall on goal difference. I know what you're thinking. I'll say it for you. There's a long way to go. And although that applies to the clubs at the bottom half as well, what a worrying start for Ron Atkinson. The only 100% record in Division 1, Sheffield Wednesday, played 3, lost 3, none 4, 8 against. I doubt if Big Ron will miss the goals from Stamford Bridge. But from now until the end of the season, you'll be able to see every goal scored in the First Division here on ITV. We'd like that to include Chelsea. Good night.